Scientists said this dinosaur fish went extinct 66 million years ago. But in 1938, a fisherman caught one alive. If they were that wrong about one prehistoric creature, how many others are still down there? Here are 7 that might still exist. Number 7. Frilled shark. A fisherman off the coast of Japan radios a marine park with something strange tangled in his net. The year is 2007. What he's hauled up looks like an eel that grew wrong. Long, pale, with a mouth that shouldn't be possible. They get it into a tank alive. It's a frilled shark, a creature most people only ever meet as a fossil. And for a few hours, it swims in front of rolling cameras. Within hours, it's dead. That footage is one of the only times a living one has ever been filmed. Picture an eel stretched to 5 feet, but give it a flat snake's head and 300 needle-sharp teeth packed into 25 curving rows. Those teeth all point backward. Therefore, once prey slides into that mouth, it cannot slide back out. This shark's family has haunted the deep for roughly 80 million years, since the days real dinosaurs walked above the waves. But here's what almost every retelling skips. The shark they filmed was not healthy. It rose out of the black because it was sick or dying, which is the only reason a human ever saw it. Healthy frilled sharks live half a mile down, far below sunlight, far below where divers go. So the one we caught was the broken one. The strong ones never come up, never counted, never filmed at home. We only know they exist because now and then, a dying one drifts toward the light. Number 6. Helicoprion. Picture a circular saw blade, round, coiled, its edge lined with dozens of sharp teeth. Now picture that blade growing straight out of the lower jaw of a living fish. That's not a prop from a horror film. That's a real mouth on a real animal. And for more than 100 years, nobody could work out how it fit together. Its name is Helicoprion. It swam the oceans around 270 million years ago, long before the very first dinosaur existed. It could grow up to 40 feet long, 3 great white sharks lined up nose to tail. But the size isn't the strange part. The teeth are. Helicoprion never lost a single one. Every tooth it ever grew stayed locked into that spiral, curling deeper as new teeth pushed in behind it, like a slow conveyor belt of blades. A full-grown adult carried its whole life's worth of teeth coiled into one weapon. For decades, people drew that spiral in the wrong spot, on the snout, the tail, even down the throat. It took a CT scan in 2013, the same scan doctors use to see inside you, to finally prove the saw sat deep inside the jaw. But we only solved where it went. We still haven't solved how it killed. A spinning coil of teeth built like nothing alive today. So what exactly was it cutting through down in those ancient seas? And why has nothing ever grown that mouth again? Number 5. Giant sea scorpion. It's longer than the couch in your living room. Now imagine it alive, armored, many-legged, swimming straight at you with 2 clawed arms outstretched. This is the giant sea scorpion, and it was absolutely real. Scientists dug up a single fossil claw, measuring 1.5 feet, about the length of your arm from elbow to fingertips. From that one claw, they rebuilt the whole animal, roughly 8 feet long, bigger than a grown man is tall, the largest bug ever to live on this planet. It hunted the water around 400 million years ago, long before the dinosaurs. Its claws were studded with spikes that trapped fish and crushed them. Therefore, very little its own size could share the water and survive. Here's the part most retellings get wrong. We call it a sea scorpion, but the rocks suggest the biggest ones didn't live in the sea at all. They may have ruled the rivers and lakes instead, in fresh water. The giants are long gone, yet their distant cousins, the horseshoe crabs, still crawl the seafloor right now, barely changed in hundreds of millions of years. The ocean has a habit of keeping ancient things alive in places we rarely look. We just don't always know they're there until one washes up on the sand. Number 4. Livyatan. The whales weren't the hunters here. The whales were the food. Around 10 million years ago, one predator was big enough to hunt other whales for a living, but we didn't even learn its name until 2010, when a researcher split open a fossil skull in the desert of Peru. We call it Livyatan. It was a sperm whale built completely wrong. Today's sperm whale is gentle, with a soft mouth made for sucking down squid. Livyatan was its nightmare opposite. It reached up to 57 feet, half again as long as a city bus, with a jaw full of teeth longer than your forearm. Those are the largest biting teeth ever found on any animal, living or extinct. Nothing we know of has bitten down with bigger. It killed other whales by ramming and tearing them to pieces. Therefore, in its world, being a whale didn't keep you safe. It put you on the menu. Almost all its fossils come from one ancient coastline, but a single giant tooth, the spitting image of Livyatan's own, turned up in Australia in much younger rock, hinting that something like it was still swimming long after the textbooks say it should have vanished. The seas it ruled held one other monster swimming right beside it. The next one needs no introduction. Number 3. Megalodon. Forget the movie poster. The most terrifying thing this shark left behind isn't a tooth the size of your hand. It's what scientists found buried in the bones of its victims. Fossil whale skeletons, millions of years old, carved with deep gouges, and lodged inside those gouges, the broken tips of megalodon teeth, snapped off mid-bite. That's not a campfire story. That's a crime scene, preserved in stone, and the killer was enormous. Megalodon may have reached 80 feet, as long as 2 school buses parked end to end, the largest hunting shark this planet has ever produced. It ruled the oceans for about 20 million years. Then, around 3.5 million years ago, its teeth simply stopped showing up in the rock. So is it gone? Almost certainly yes. But sit with this for a second. More than 80% of our ocean has never been mapped or explored. We have seen less of our own deep sea than we've seen of the surface of Mars. And remember Livyatan, the whale killer from a moment ago? Megalodon shared the water with it. 2 giants, the same seas, both supposedly extinct and both leaving nothing behind but teeth to prove they were ever real. Number 2. Mosasaurus. That sea monster in Jurassic World. The one that erupts out of the lagoon and swallows a shark whole? Real animal. Wrong size, wrong family. The film stretched it to the length of a blue whale, well past 100 feet. The actual Mosasaurus came in closer to 56 feet. Still huge. About the length of a sperm whale, but a fraction of the version on screen. And it wasn't a dinosaur at all. Almost everyone assumes it was. In truth, Mosasaurus was a giant sea lizard, far closer kin to today's monitor lizards and snakes than to any dinosaur that ever lived. Picture a snake's long body fused onto 4 swimming paddles, with a huge hinged jaw and a second row of teeth set into the roof of its mouth to drag struggling prey down its throat. It ruled the oceans right up to the day the asteroid struck and ended the age of dinosaurs, about 66 million years ago. Its reign stops there. The fossils go quiet. But here's the fact that lingers. The very first piece of Mosasaurus was pulled from the ground in the 1760s, before the word dinosaur had even been invented. We've been digging up this animal for over 250 years, and we are still pulling new ones out of new places we never knew it had been. Number 1. Coelacanth. December 1938. A fishing boat docks in South Africa, and a young museum curator named Marjorie Courtenay Latimer comes down to pick through the day's catch. In the heap, she spots a fish she's never seen. Heavy, gleaming steel blue, with thick fins that move almost like little arms. She doesn't yet realize she's holding a ghost, because this fish was supposed to be gone. Not recently gone, extinct for 66 million years, lost since the time of the dinosaurs, known to science only as an imprint pressed into stone. Yet there it lay, alive, bright blue, lifted straight out of the sea. They named it the coelacanth. For 60 years, everyone assumed that one small population was all that was left, until 1998, when a second kind surfaced on the far side of the world, in the waters of Indonesia. A whole separate species, hidden in plain sight the entire time, living in deep, rocky caves where humans almost never look. So everything this countdown was building toward lands on this single fish. It outlasted the dinosaurs. It slipped past every scientist on Earth for 66 million years, breathing quietly in the dark, waiting to be noticed. One fish that old hid that well, that long, right under us. So the only honest question left is the one nobody can answer. What else is still down there? That's all 7. Creatures the textbooks swear are extinct, and one that proved them wrong, caught alive long after the world gave up on it. So the other 6 aren't a maybe. They're a question nobody's answered yet. Which one do you think is still out there? Drop it in the comments. I read everyone. If you want to find the next one, subscribe.